Hi, my name is Saskia Foley and I'm the CEO of Radius Toothbrushes. Radius was started in 1983 and we manufacture all of our own products here in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. We take pride in the fact that we get to manufacture all of our products and we have full vertically integrated control. So from raw material all the way to retail unit in the store that people buy, we make it, we control it, and we send it out. We make toothbrushes, travel cases, flosses, and also a new home accessory called the Dock. It's amazing. All of our products are, and they're really focused on the design of everyday tools and improving your life through style, design, and enhancement of that tool, as well as the eco function that we can always focus on because we make our own products. Radius is currently 100% solar powered, and we recently did that. But back in 1983 when Radius started, we actually made our own products with a contract manufacturer. We didn't have full control. And so that was a change we made when we decided to move to Pennsylvania. And it's been wonderful ever since. The history of Radius is actually interesting because the first toothbrush that we ever created was the original toothbrush. And the original toothbrush was focused purely on the idea that there was no reason a toothbrush should be skinny and not be easy to hold in the hand. And there was no reason the toothbrush should be very uncomfortable to use. And really a chore, I guess, is the point. The two founders, James O'Halloran and Kevin Foley, were both architects and they became product designers, as many others do in this day and era, like Michael Graves or Kareem Rashid. And basically what ended up happening was they said, is there any reason at all why the head is so small, it doesn't massage my gums, it doesn't feel good in my hand, it just feels like I'm doing something I really don't want to do, and I only do it for about 45 seconds on average for a male and 60 seconds on average for a female. So instead, they decided to make a product that was ergonomic handle, very comfortable for your hand, and actually was made in both right and left hand, right here, as you can see. And this product right here, this original toothbrush, is still our #1 product. The right-handed original is the #1 product, and we have a cult following because of it. It is one of the most enjoyable experiences you will ever have, and you feel like you're going to the dentist every single day. And basically, the theory behind the product was that if you have a 45-degree angle on the neck, as dentists are recommending, if you have an ergonomic handle that's customized to your grip with your thumb going right here, you have this really incredibly relaxed grip, so you're not putting the pressure on your teeth and gums anymore because your hand is relaxed. And at the same time, you're going to have 3 times as many bristles. So what ends up happening is, rather than a normal toothbrush, which really only gets this much, and it only is made for your teeth specifically, this toothbrush gets your teeth and your gums at the same time, ensuring that you have things like receding gum lines going to stop, the bleeding gum lines are going to stop. You can have less enamel erosion because it's a soft, wide head that massages your entire mouth rather than having pinpointed pressures of a smaller toothbrush that saw at the gum line like a normal toothbrush does. So Radius has really started on this product, and its essence was, we're going to think a little bit more about the products that we use every day. And we're going to say, why does it have to look like this? Just like there's an OXO Good Grip out there now, and we used to have a hard metal peeler, today there's a toothbrush out there that is incredibly comfortable to hold and does better for your mouth every single day. In addition, there's dentists, all of our dentists, there's a million dentists that recommend Radius, but orthodontists also recommend Radius because it's one of the best toothbrushes to get behind those braces and to ensure that they don't have plaque when they're spending so much money on their dental care, and yet they're going to have bad hygiene because the toothbrushes are too small. One of the other wonderful attributes of this product in particular is people with arthritis can hold it incredibly easily. There's also people with dentures and things like that. It's fantastic for them because it's such a wide head. It gets everything at once. But overall, it's just one of the most enjoyable experiences you will have. And people always ask, why is it so big? I mean, that is the reason. And then they think, oh, I don't think I could fit that in my mouth. But we actually like to say there's a 1-week challenge, and we'll give you your money back if you use it after a week and you don't like it. Because one of the biggest things you'll realize after a week, and then you go back to your old toothbrush, which we want you to keep around, is how much more cleanly you feel after using this product, and how much more invigorated your gums feel, and how the sensitivity is coming back, you feel better, you're less bleeding, less receding, all of these factors are attributed to not massaging your gums at all during that quick time every day that you brush your teeth. And that's the problem. I mean, no one wants to brush very long. This makes you brush longer, but also gets more while you're brushing. So even if you're brushing a short amount of time, you're still brushing everything. So then we have the Scuba toothbrush. Right here, the only difference between this and this, we actually came out with the Scuba toothbrush because it had a rubber neck, and so it's flexible. It's actually made from recycled rubber, and the neck has a little flex to it, so you end up having it. It's really great for harder brushers. There's a lot of people out there that really believe that, feel like they should scrub hard. This doesn't allow you to push too hard, but the signature radius oval head, which we have in all of our toothbrushes, actually ensures that you get an even surface pressure on all of your teeth and your gums rather than hurting anything with pinpointed pressure. So this flexible rubber neck actually stops any additional pressure that people may be trying to put and unconsciously trying to put on their teeth and their gums to get it super, super clean, because the tool itself is going to do the job. Next, we actually have our Source toothbrush. This is one of our newest models, and we actually created, it's a little bit more conventional, really for the person who feels like perhaps the original and the Scuba, which are our #1 bestsellers, maybe it's too big. So it's great for women with smaller mouths, or even children. We recommend it for 12 years and up. This product comes with 2 heads. It actually has a replacement head, and it's a wonderful, wonderful product because it has a very small amount of plastic on the back, less than an Oral-B, but it actually has twice as many bristles as a normal toothbrush because we fan them out. So what ends up happening is you're still getting that wonderful gum coverage, stopping that periodontal disease, stopping the receding gums and the bleeding gums, ensuring you're massaging your gums at the same time, but you're still making sure that it has a small amount of plastic and that lovely long slim neck to be able to get to the back spots in case your mouth is a little tight. One of the biggest things people don't realize about periodontal disease is in fact that you're actually twice as likely to die of heart disease if you have periodontal disease. And one of the things that can really help that is that daily massage of your gums. People don't realize that, and actually Radius was recently on Martha Stewart for that fact, with this product specifically, on the idea of tools around your house that can help you every single day to stop the potential of heart disease. And massaging your gums is numero uno on making sure that you don't have periodontal disease, subsequently twice as likely to die of heart disease. In addition, heart disease is the #1 killer of women, which it's even worse, So why not invest a little bit now? And then it's just like organic food or good food for you. You're eating vegetables and fruits. You also need to invest in your teeth, and especially your gums. And it's one of the things people don't realize about dental hygiene is how important it is for the lifelong term of your health is investing in it in the beginning, not using a free toothbrush from your dentist, not using a cheap one, not using a value pack. Spend a little more on something that will last a little longer and be good for you in the long run. Just, you want to invest in those wonderful marathon running shoes because you're not going to wear flip-flops on that race. You're going to wear running shoes that are appropriate for the long haul. And the same thing as you have to do for your toothbrush. Over here we have our kids' toothbrushes, actually some of our most popular lines. The Pure Baby and the Tots toothbrush just came out a year and a half ago or so, and they're actually about to beat the original toothbrush in terms of sales. The 3 of these actually propose a great stages of lines for a natural option for a toothbrush. It's one of the things people don't realize is it's really important to know what your toothbrushes are made from because they're going in your mouth every day, and specifically for children, they chew on their toothbrushes. So while all of Radius's toothbrushes are BPA free, it's something we're dedicated to, these toothbrushes are actually made specifically for the idea that certain ages will be chewing, and so we make sure it's incredibly safe for that. The Pure Baby toothbrush, in fact, is 6 to 18 months. It's incredibly soft bristles, super, super soft, perfect for gums and just your first teeth. And the handle is 100% clear. It has no dye in it at all. All of our dyes are FDA approved, but this dye is 100% clear. There is no dye, to ensure that when babies are teething, they're basically chewing on surgical grade plastic, and there's no chance for any contamination. We also do travel cases. We have 6 travel cases. Right here are your most popular travel cases. These are the top 3. We have a toothbrush case that fits every single toothbrush there is on the market, including our Source toothbrush. And then the razor case right there is a wonderful product fitting any razor. It is one of the things that actually really is not available on the market, and we decided to create it because it was really required. People were just not having a razor case, and it's those flimsy caps for the razor case weren't really doing it in your toiletry bag. We also have a soap case. We have tampon cases. We have condom cases as well. We have large applicator-style tampon cases and smaller OB-style tampon cases. And all of our products, again, are recycled plastic, really focused on making it easy for everyday life and improving everyday life by saying, listen, I know you don't have a case for this. You need a good one, a secure one that is made in America from recycled plastics and will not break on you. Our last and final product is one of my favorite products. We just came out with this. It's called the Dock. It is in fact a toothbrush holder, a razor holder, an anything holder. So if you take a look at the back, it actually explains a lot to you, but it's for your bathroom. It's for your toothbrush. It's for your gadgets. It fits your iPhone. It fits your BlackBerry, and it's for your kitchen. The product suctions both on the wall and also on the counter. So you can hold your razor by the neck or your toothbrush by the neck, suction to the wall of your shower, or you can put it on the counter stand in your sink. Over here is actually our replacement heads that we'll see later when we're bristling. They actually get bristled a entirely different way than most of our other products, but this is actually the start of the production process right here. This material is incredibly sensitive, and it's actually a specific material that we chose to be able to use in our replacement head products because it doesn't break. And it is made specifically by surgical grade plastic that is completely unbreakable. It's a German company that makes the material, and it is the most safe thing you could ever use. The reason actually for this was because we had been using a different material previously and found that, ironically, peppermint oil in toothpaste was breaking down standard plastic. So we had to do a lot of research to find out exactly what would be the best product for our heads. Because they're so very sensitive, when you fit them into the handle, there's that opportunity for corrosion because of the toothpaste. So these are incredibly sensitive. Like, we dry the material for about 11 hours at least, because it has to be zero moisture before it goes into the machine. That is part of the ability for it to be so strong, is have no moisture whatsoever. But after that, really the process is the same. You're going to feed the pellets into the machine, and then you have an injection molding process happening where, again, it's going to be screwed, the heated plastic is going to be screwed into this cavity, and we end up getting the final replacement head product. This cavity is actually a little different because we do run it 24/7, but it actually has more than just one head in it. Oh, I'm wrong. It has one head in it. I thought it had more than one. And then your final product is actually right down here. It, again, not like the cellulose in the original handles. It does not need a water bath. It simply cools right there, and you have your final product. We're down here by our injection molding machine area. Radius has 3 injection molding machines. All of them are various sizes to handle various size products, actually. Each machine's size can actually hold a certain size of mold in the cast iron cavity. And what ends up happening is the size of the product determines the size of the machine it has to go into. Molding is actually a pretty fascinating process, and it starts with these pellets right here. These pellets are actually, well, these right here are the ones we use for our most popular product. It's called the original toothbrush. These are bioplastic pellets made from cellulose. Cellulose is extracted from wood, from trees, and it's the oil that is made to use this plastic resin. But because it is made from a sustainable source and sustainable yield forests, it's actually called a bioplastic. We make sure we source all of our bioplastic cellulose from forests that actually make sure that they're being replanted as they're cut down. So you take this right here, and then you go in here, and then we have large gaylords of these pellets that get sucked up into this tube right here. After it gets sucked up into this tube, it goes into this dry air system, which ensures that all of the pellets have reduced all the moisture out of them, and they're actually then put in through the hopper and melted. If you don't reduce the moisture, the product at the end result will not look the way you want it to. And so it's a very controlled process with a lot of controlled temperatures and times and drying. So after that, the product actually ends up going through our hopper, where it is actually screwed through and basically melted into liquid plastic. That liquid plastic is then injection molded, hence the name injection molding. It is injection molded into cavities, which are the shape of the products that we want. The cavities are actually the converse of what the product ends to be, and it's two halves coming together, and then the plastic injects inside of that cavity, creating the whole product. We then let the product just drop down into a cold water bath, and this one specifically, this is the original toothbrush. We love to have a specific, very, very stylized bubble in the handle. And this cold water bath actually ensures that we have that bubble. Because what ends up happening is you have incredibly hot plastic at upwards of 120 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and it drops into the cold water, and it actually creates a suction effect inside the handle, and this beautiful, clear bubble action happens. Each handle is incredibly different. There are no two handles that are exactly the same. And that's one of the wonderful things about Radius, is that it's a very, very unique product, and the handles are very, very specifically designed to be unique as well. After the process of going in the cold water bath, they're cooled with a large fan and sent down this conveyor belt. This is a very important part of the process, because what ends up happening on here is they come to room temperature, and it ensures all the proper setting of the plastic back into its hardened form, but in the shape of our handles. After that period of time, they are then checked and ensure that there is no flaw in the handle base or in the handle top, where we basically injection mold holes, as we will see later, of where we bristle. These holes are actually injection molded in, whereas in the past, way long time ago, these handles were actually drilled, the holes were drilled in, which took a lot longer. So modern technology has allowed us to create a handle with the holes already in, and as we'll see later when we're in the bristling section, you'll be able to see why we do that. So now that we've seen the molded product in its final form, ready to be hand inspected and passed along to our bristling department, it's great to see the actual cavity that is making these molds. These pieces of metal are incredibly heavy. They're made to withstand a ton of temperature, a ton of plastic going through them. We make millions of handles on this every year. And as you can see, they are in fact the exact opposite halves of each other. This unique style of a two-cavity mold is actually not that common in most manufacturers. One of the things that's very special about Radius is that we don't do contract manufacturing, we actually do our own manufacturing, and so we run on an operation of low energy and 24/7 production. This actually saves about 75% of the energy used on a normal contract manufacturing facility. They typically use hydraulic machines. Hydraulic machines are incredibly wasteful of energy, and they're usually making about 100 products at a time. So there's also a lot of waste of plastic that's basically encasing all of those items into one injection point. What ends up happening here is we have only 2 injection points, and they're very small, and they constantly run and produce handles. So it allows us to have a high quality control, but it also makes sure that we really are reducing it. As I said, 75% less electricity used at any time as compared to contract manufacturers. So now we're actually at a different machine. This is a 50-ton machine. We were just seeing a 130-ton machine. This one's actually made for smaller products, just like this condom case right here. This is actually a product that really hasn't been on the market at all so far, and we decided to make one. It actually holds condoms, about 3 of them, and it's actually more popular with women than men, which we find very fascinating, but it makes sense because they put it in their bag, and they're a little more proactive sometimes about bringing that kind of thing around. These also actually fit the OB-style tampons, which are also amazingly good to have around because usually they fall apart in your bag. And same as our other tampon cases. They basically protect everything that you make. And then they have this wonderful snap lock, which closes and makes sure that nothing falls apart in your bag. So
The difference between the two products, in fact, is this is a standard polypropylene, whereas the other toothbrush is made from cellulose. Cellulose is a little bit different, a little bit more unique, and it really needs some temperature control. This is polypropylene right here, and as you can see, this actually has color pellets in it. These color pellets actually, you would never think, but these make this. Just that little few pieces of black actually make this color condom case, and any other product we make. And it really only takes a little color and all that clear to make that color. But the process is always the same, which is kind of interesting about injection molding. You can make pretty much anything you want as long as your machine's big enough or small enough and you have the right color pellets. So basically you still have it running up and down through, and then you injection mold right here. This is where you're heating the plastic as it moves down. Right now it's actually getting heated and screwed into a very fine tube, which will then slowly inject it into the closed cavity just like the one we saw before. Right here is in fact where that cavity will be held. And again, it's a mirror image of the product itself. It's an open format, not closed, as you can see right there. And unlike the original toothbrush, which is very delicate and the materials needs a little extra care, this one's just a standard recycled polypropylene, so we don't need a water bath the way a normal product would, or a cellulose product would. And here you can see our final result. It just automatically runs. Our machine makes one at a time, and it's 75% less wasteful of energy as normal hydraulic machines. So here we have our raw handles that we made in our injection molding machines prior to this point. This is the essence of a toothbrush right here, but it's not a toothbrush until it's actually bristled and made palatable for human mouths. These are our Tots toothbrushes and our baby toothbrushes. These are the youngest toothbrushes we make. They have the softest and most fine bristles of all the bristles we have. All of our bristles are made from castor bean, which is a bioplastic, but these specifically are very fine so that a young baby or a toddler is able to use them. And as you move from the raw handle, it's actually manually placed in the machine and actually run through on this sorter, as you can see, to put it in the exact proper placement, ready for the bristling. At the bristling point, what ends up happening is every single toothbrush, there's 4 toothbrushes at a time, and they're on what's called a turret. And this is the turret right here. And you can see how fast it goes. It's actually pretty great. You get a lot of toothbrushes out at one time. And basically what's happening here is each tiny piece of, we call them tufts, every tuft of bristle is going through and being stapled in half through the hole that's already injection molded on the handle. And so that tiny little piece of staple, it's a kind of square of staple that, as you can see, is running down through the machine, ends up holding in those bristles. And then after that, they're spun around and thrown through the cutters and the rounders to make sure you have a perfect product at the end result. We have 2 types of cutters and also 2 types of rounders on this machine. And that makes sure that they're as high as we need them to be and as perfectly made as needed to be to make it perfect for the gums and the teeth. Especially because our products have so many bristles, we end up having to be very, very specific about the requirements of our toothbrushes. On this machine is actually our replacement head toothbrushes. This is actually just a toothbrush head, and that you can see is actually held in with all those holes, and the same process in essence is going to happen, where the bristle is going to be put in with a staple. However, on this machine we actually make it go through the hopper, and it's all automatic. There's no manual manipulation happening on this machine. In fact, as we go forward, we're about to get even a newer machine because we're going to put all of our baby and our Tots toothbrushes, our children's line, through here as well, because they're growing so rapidly in sales that we can't, it's so much better for us to have an automated machine. So this one right here, this actually sorts all of the heads and puts them through until you have one final one at the top, and that is in the exact right position, ready to go into the bristler. And as you come around, you end up seeing that, in essence, bristling will always be the same. However, this product right here has 2 channels of different types of bristles versus 1 single type of bristle, and actually has the capability for 3 channels, as you can see. So what one is medium and one is soft. And the reason we do that is so that you end up having soft on the outside and medium in the center for the medium toothbrushes, so that it won't break down as fast, but you still get very, very soft bristles on the outside for your gums. And as you can see here, you'll notice that there's a lot more movement in the head as the bristling is happening, because what this is a patented design toothbrush head where we actually curve it outwards to make sure that we actually have more surface area for bristles to go into, however, less surface area on the back, so it's a smaller head overall. This allows us to create a product that has twice as many bristles as a normal toothbrush, but not as much hard plastic on the back side. It's basically fanned out. So as you can see, they're fanning the bristles as they bristle it. After that point, basically the robot arm takes you this way. And this is a final result right here, where this has been already cut and rounded. And you end up getting, right here is your final stamp. And that gives us a date and a time to know when this product was made. So if we ever have any concerns or any question about what and when the product was made, maybe what happened to it, this tells us exactly what date we made it on, what month we made it on, what year we made it on. Every single handle is stamped with that exact information. As you go down here, you can actually see what's happening. On this machine, we have actually 4 rounders and 4 cutters. Largely because these have so many bristles in different directions, we make sure that there's even more cutters than our straight toothbrushes. And then it's rounded off to make sure there's no sharp bristles in your mouth at all. In this area, we actually end up doing all of the heat sealing. What this means is that all the products are packaged with a card exterior and then a blister to keep the product really dry and not get dirty in the shelf. But we try and actually make sure we have as much environmental packaging as possible, so we've actually really cut down on the amount of plastic we use. Everything we use is 100% recycled plastic, and then the card is a standard cardboard with 30% post-consumer card used. And it allows for real easy recycling after the point of opening the product. Here, this machine basically hits down, goes down, and actually uses heat to seal the card in the exact form that the product is made in. So every single one of these dies is actually specifically customized to each product that we make. And as you can see right here, it is the exact shape replica inverse of the product. So every single time we have a package, every single product or SKU that we make, we actually have to have a custom packaging die made for that product. So, but because we package everything in-house and make everything in-house, it allows us a lot more ownership about the choice of cards that we have and the choice of blisters that we have and changing the materials of both. In addition to toothbrushes, we also make flosses and also travel cases. So here we have, these are actually one of our more popular, it's a tampon case actually, very useful for women. These are for applicator tampons and people love them. They come in 4 colors. But everything that we make, as you saw on the injection molding machines, we make everything ourselves. But these are great because what they do is they snap securely closed, and all of our travel cases have the same design. They snap securely closed, and then you never have to worry about them opening in transit. So we make toothbrush cases for every kind of toothbrush possible. We make toothbrush cases for our own larger toothbrushes, the original and the scuba. We make tampon cases, we make razor cases for all of those razors in your toiletry bag when you're traveling and you always cut your fingers, which is honestly one of the best items on this earth. And then we also make bar soap cases, and we also make condom cases and smaller tampon cases, depending on the needs of the consumer. All of them are made to be bright colored, to really be able to have matching sets if you prefer, so every single case is made with its same matching colors. And they have that snap lock technology to make sure that no matter what product you're holding inside of your travel case, it ends up being secure and doesn't fall apart in your toiletry bag. In addition, all of our cases are made with recycled plastic, as we have the ability to basically decide what type of plastic we have and what type of plastic we use. The only difference between our product and other products that are out there is A, the quality. We really make sure that our products are durable, and we actually guarantee our living hinges, this part right here, we guarantee that for 2 million openings. Largely because we make sure that no matter what we do, we don't ruin the integrity of the product and make it less durable and less quality. And that's part of being able to be a company made in America, is that we actually have that option and we have full control over our process. I know what's going into this travel case, and it's not made by some company in China who is going to tell me it's made by from one thing, but it's actually made from another.
In this area, this is actually where we ship everything out of Radius. One of the big things about Radius is that it's made, we make everything by ourselves, and we also ship everything by ourselves. So we're both a manufacturer and almost a marketer and a salesperson all in one. We control everything, and we ship to various places in the United States and also internationally. We have exclusive exporters. We're the #1 baby toothbrush in Korea, actually, which is kind of fun. And that, I think, has a lot to do with we're made in America. Also, we do actually have almost the best children's line of toothbrushes there is. It's just soft, wonderful, made for children. Basically, this entire area is our whole heartbeat of sending out to the world. Radius is sold in both retail locations. We're sold in natural product stores and also vitamin stores, drug stores, pharmacies. We're sold through distribution to stores as well as direct to stores ourselves. And lastly, and most important, is we also have a direct link to our customers. We have an e-commerce site and also an outlet store here at the factory. So our e-commerce site is a really wonderful tool for us to be able to know exactly what our customers want, and we ship small packages directly from here to their doorsteps. Well, thank you so much for spending the time to tour Radius with us today. As always, we're in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, so feel free to stop by, come visit us in our outlet store. We sell all of our products here, and they're 50% off, in fact, from retail prices. So we would love to see you, and we're open from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. In addition, you can always find Radius products at www.radiustoothbrush.com. We sell them online, direct to customers. And you can also find the store locator on that same website to find a retail store near you.